The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Mayfield on play action. And this one is incomplete.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. From the gun, Mayfield. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Mayfield to throw it. Trying to lay one up deep. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it. They may have thrown the interception, obviously less than ideal, but I think they also sent a message that they're going to push the ball downfield in this one.
Yeah, not afraid to take their shots right away, huh? What was that, like a 9-9-9 route? 9 meaning go? Just went ahead and went for it. Didn't work out so well because it certainly appeared the defense was prepared. But I'm with you. Okay, so it didn't work this time. Doesn't mean we won't try it again later.
And a nice little start as he's able to get this up to the 28. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
On 2nd and inches, Jackson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Moore. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. This is caught. Touchdown. DJ Moore, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first quarter lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. McCann's got it teed up. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Mayfield off the play fake. That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, this defense for the Panthers, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. They go play action. Mayfield. And finding the tight end Hooper. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And his kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
You know, are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
And they work this well upfield across the 45.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Off the option, here's McCaffrey. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And that is incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is caught. He hits more. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Jackson on 1st down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Now Jackson on first down, eluding the pressure right.
And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. On the ground, McCaffrey. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. McCaffrey.
And the pressure gets to McCaffrey as they stop him short of the line to gain.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal. Here we go with McCaffrey. And I don't think he got in. He didn't. He's stoned at the 1-yard line. McCaffrey turned away on 4th and goal. And the Browns are able to come up with a goal line stand. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku.
They got a completion there. That's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, very, hey, take 1 or 2 yards. We're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on the passing play.
Play fake. Mayfield. Sliding out of the pocket. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, You could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Now a run with Hubbard.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
On the ground, it's Hubbard.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Here's Jackson to throw.
That caught by Trimble.
And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They run with McCaffrey off the option.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. From the gun, Jackson. Flushed out right. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Tyree Jackson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Panthers add on to their lead.
Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 11.
McCann's got it teed up. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
The Browns drive about to get started. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. This one complete to Coleman.
Number 5. He's forced out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
Hey, alert! Hurry! Watch 36 to Mike. Get that quarterback!
To throw, Mayfield. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Mayfield knocks this forward. It's a jet sweep.
Let's go, let's bring it.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw into the hands of Hooper.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
2 yards on the pickup. It's second.
From the 41, Mayfield. Coleman has it here right side. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
They'll go screen here to Hunt, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14.
Hurry! 20. It's our time. It's our time.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. And he'd completed 7 straight passes before that one as it falls incomplete and puts a halt to that streak.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb, and he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
A 50-yard attempt.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Panthers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive as they'll take over with just 13 seconds to go before the break.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. So we come upon halftime intermission here with the visiting Panthers taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway.
Takes it at the 7. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Off the option, here's McCaffrey. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Jackson. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. So, CD, you talk about this football team, some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely, but that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here, and then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet. What am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we've got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame that talked about retirement the last 6-7 years of their careers. So that's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone in this locker room to move forward.
54 yards on the punt, 12 on the return.
And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense him saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And just not enough on the throw there, down around his feet and incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Watch 36. 36 to Mike. Hey, man. Watch.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down.
Got a man, it's Schwartz, complete.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
So they'll, of course, decline the pass interference there and wisely take the yardage.
And I think defensively he's saying, I was getting away with that in the first half. Why are you making that call now? But to me, that one was pretty easy to see. I don't understand what he's upset about. I think it was the correct call.
Watch left. Watch left. Watch left. Watch the back.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice game.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
50 seconds to Mike. I'm on. No.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Hey, alert!
Third and short yardage. Mayfield. steps away to his left. That's caught. It's Coleman.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. They'll give to Hunt here on the option.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
They'll give to Hunt here on the option.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. Here's Mayfield. Dancing to his left.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You could just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
No, they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson, and he hits on the slant route to Marshall. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Here's Hubbard.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
Now it's Jackson. And that's complete to Marshall on the crossing route. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll run with Hubbard.
And he's brought down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
McCaffrey is in. Touchdown, Carolina. No, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively, because to me, it looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage.
McCann's got it teed up.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
Chubb with a first down carry as he'll get about 3 out of it. Make it 2nd and 7 coming up. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is, he takes care of the ball well for it.
And Mayfield again with the interception, his third. Picked off by Troy Pride.
And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45.
And that's now a half dozen interceptions for him over the last 2 games. Because CD, remember, he threw 3 in the last ball game and now 3 more here.
And the way that you present it, partner, I'm not sure what sounds worse, right? Half a dozen over the last 2 games, or 3 the last game, 3 this game. Either way, it's way too many. And that's something they'll have to work on, hoping to get through the rest of this game without having to address it again.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete there to Moore.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
Jackson on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Jackson will keep it. And he is over the line for another rushing touchdown.
Is he a quarterback or is he a tailback?
Tyree Jackson. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Panthers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And that will make this a 19-point game.
Tucker McCann set to kick off.
McCann's got it teed up. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Mayfield on play action. Looking deep downfield. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play that time through the air. 37 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
It's going to be a long...
A give. This is Chubb. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Hey, alert 33. Hurry. Mike 20. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Hey, Mike 20.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. It's caught by Coleman. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll try and burn some clock now with McCaffrey. And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. 58 yards on the ground for him so far. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they had shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. There's Trimble, the tight end. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 40. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. It means when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Carolina, they keep pace in the playoff